Hello there, you delightful individuals. This is a very quick and spontaneous one, it seems, because it turns out that evidently 2024 is just the year of all of the movies that might vaguely appeal to ValenVain. So we're back with yet another movie trailer reaction. I feel like I've been doing one of these every single week, but they just keep coming out. So here we are again. Being the young gothic child that I was, naturally I got into all of the things that were vampire related, and they have just released a 2024 Nosferatu trailer. Now, I loved Nosferatu. I loved the original black and white movie. I loved the remake, and I loved the entire construct of it. I also kind of loved the fact that they couldn't get the rights to Dracula, and therefore made it just different enough for the rules and regulations of copyright at the time in order to make it not Dracula, and thus Nosferatu was born. I also love the deep dive into the history of the reason why Nosferatu was a vampire, and the whole thing of Nosferatu being plague bearer, and the origins of the whole vampire mythos. I actually did an entire stream on those, and if you are watching and want to see that kind of thing, then we do Mythical Mondays over on the VODs and Vanity YouTube channel. I'll stick the link down below so that you can all go over and check it out. Yeah, Mythical Mondays, a series where we deep dive into the origins of vampires, werewolves, ghosts, zombies, witches, succubus, leprechauns, mermaids. There's been a whole lot of them, but we started with vampires, and the origins of vampires was just absolutely fantastic. Loved it. It appealed to me greatly, and I genuinely loved every second of it. But anyway, back to the point at hand, which is the brand new Nosferatu trailer for 2024. Naturally, being a big fan of the originals, I'm very, very skeptical because I loved the old black and white movies. I loved the silent movies and stuff. However, it could be really, really interesting. They've done some very, very interesting things with Dracula over the years. Some pretty awful, cheesy, horrible things over the years, but some really interesting things as well. And I feel like maybe this is the time that they can reinvent Nosferatu to a higher standard, a higher caliber. Some of the trailers that have come out recently that I've reacted to here on this channel, like the Beetlejuice trailer and the Alien Romulus trailer, have been really good, and they've genuinely excited me, and they've genuinely filled me with a modicum of hope about remakes and carry-ons and what have you from the movie industry. So let's have a look and see whether this is also one of them. Trying to go in with an open mind, with as little skepticism as possible, for all of my love of the original, and we'll see how we get on, shall we? Okay, here we go.
Come to me. Come to me. Hear my call. Come to me.
Okay.
My dreams grow darker. Does evil come from within us? Or from beyond?
Okay, immediately, Willem Dafoe, big tick box. Willem Dafoe is an amazing, amazing actor, and I am... that's a big tick box for me. That is a big tick box for me. However, Willem Dafoe has been in some questionable films in the past, so it's possible. I'm intrigued by this. It definitely seems like they've pushed a little bit further into the Dracula story from what I've seen here, as opposed to what the movie was based on in the original movie in the black and white silent movie era. But then that's kind of understandable because, Nosferatu was taken from Dracula, so that makes sense a little bit. We can obviously see the psychosis of the young lady there. God knows what she's going to be called, given the fact that it's Nosferatu and not Dracula. But let's whip it back a little bit and see where we go.
It's coming.
It is coming.
He is coming to us.
He's coming.
Oh, okay. That was they built up sort of an air of unnervingness with like the rats and the creature like amongst the candles. It was all naked, and evidently the servant of Nosferatu there being all savaging an old budgerigar or pigeon or whatever it was, and just there was something there, and then they had the hand creeping over. Now I know that's a hark back to the original black and white movie, but the stylization of a black and white movie is very, very different to a stylization of a modern movie. Not sure, because it was genuinely getting a level of creepiness, and then it just felt a little bit cheesy. Like I know as a steadfast fan that is a hark back to the original movie. I know that. But the vast majority of people, I mean, how many of you beautiful individuals actually have seen the original silent movie of Nosferatu? How many of you have seen the old school black and white sepia silent movie of Nosferatu? If you have, then you'll get the reference, but then you will probably find this to be cheesy as well. You're just like, that was a bit cheesy. That didn't need to happen. If you're modernizing it to a degree of thingy that if you're wanting to make it unnerving and creepy, then don't add the cheese. The stylization of a sepia movie was very, very different, and the things that caused fear back then were very, very different. I don't know. I just I was getting really excited, and then I saw the hand. I just started laughing. Yeah, now. Right, let's whip it back.
He's coming.
Who is coming to you, my child? We are here encountering the vampire. Nosferatu.
Christmas. It's a Christmas movie. Of course it is. It's a Christmas movie. Wow. Okay. I don't know how to feel about that one. I genuinely don't know how to feel about that. That has confused me. The performers that I've seen in it that I recognized, very cool. I know they're all relatively good actors and will put on good performances. The stylization, for the most part, does seem quite eerie. It does seem to really bring into that creepy, unnerving feeling that the original movies got in the day and age that they brought out. Like, people left the movie because it was so horrific and what have you, because expectations and stuff change. But then there's a certain level of cheese in it. There's a certain level of cheesiness that I really worry is going to detract. Because in the day and age that the original one came out, it was unnerving. It was unsettling. It was genuinely terrifying to the audiences that watched it. And even as it was remade, that sort of atmosphere kept it going. It had the unnerving feeling. It had that unsettling air of a plague monster, which is what Nosferatu is. It's a plague creature. And yeah, interesting. I worry that the cheese is going to take off it. I worry that the harkbacks to the original movie, which normally I am all for. I will say, normally I'm all for a good hark back to the original and like a little nod to the original material. But I worry that it's gonna, because it's 100 odd years old. But you know what? I'm gonna check. 1922. It's 102 years old. The original black and white movie is 102 years old. I worry that the things that are gonna hark back to the 102 years old movie are going to come across as cheesy in the new movie and are going to detract from the immersion of how unsettling it can be. But then maybe I'll be completely wrong and it turns out that they are done in a really artistic way and a really beautiful way. It's just the way that it came across in the trailer just was like, oh, okay. And suddenly I went from being, oh, look at this, to, oh, for God's sake, here we go. Okay, yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued is probably the best way I'm going to put it. I don't know what to expect, but I'm not completely put off it. I wouldn't say that it's something that has grabbed me, that I really want to go and see, and I can't wait to go see it, but it hasn't put me off it completely either. I'm just kind of like, all right, okay. I wonder where you go with this. We'll see. It looks like it has a relatively decent budget. It looks like it has some good actors, good performers in there. I genuinely hope that it pushes more into the unnerving atmosphere. Also, the fact that we didn't see Nosferatu in the trailer both excites me and unnerves me, because we all know what Nosferatu should look like. And the silhouette that we saw made him look like a buff Viking as opposed to a skeletal, unnerving, rat-faced creature. A vampire. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'm like excited because I'm like, oh my God, we haven't seen Nosferatu. Where's it going to go? How's it going to look? But I'm also like, how are you going to do this? How are you going to portray the very iconic appearance of Nosferatu? Also, I've just remembered that Willem Dafoe played Nosferatu. Willem Dafoe, who is here playing the Van Helsing style character. I can't remember whether he was called Van Helsing in the original movies, but playing the original Van Helsing style character, actually played Nosferatu in one of the remakes of the movie. Actually played Nosferatu in one of the remakes. Just, it's a really nice nod. I like it. I like that aspect. But yeah, overall, not sure how to feel about this one. It's very rare that I watch a trailer and I'm just like, don't know about that one. Excited because there were certain aspects of the trailer that I was like, oh my God, this looks amazing, but also apprehensive because I was like, there's a little bit of cheesiness in there that feels very out of place compared to the rest of the movie. So I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued in a very apprehensive way. I'll probably go and watch it, or probably more specifically, wait till it comes out and then watch it. But yeah, not entirely sure. Not entirely sure about that one. Interesting. Friends, if you don't already know, I stream live on Twitch, twitch.tv/ValenVain. You can also find me on TikTok at ValenVain, and on Instagram at ValenVain. You can do all of these things if you would like to check them out. I would love to know what you think of it, and if you are one of these people that has watched the original black and white movie and what have you, what you think in comparison to that, or alternately, if you've not seen any of the previous Nosferatu movies, what this trailer does in regards to excitement for you, if you know anything about the Dracula story or the Nosferatu story and what have you, And of course, as always, if you haven't already, I'd love it if you click that cheeky little like button and click that cheeky little subscribe button, as it helps me out in the channel and helps me grow and all of that jazz, There will be a video on Friday, coming out this Friday, as well as this one today, That's going to be an interesting one. I literally filmed that earlier today, and It's an interesting trip, is what I'll say. It's an interesting trip. So I hope you come back and watch that at some stage, all right? And until then, you beautiful individuals, don't do anything I wouldn't do, because if I wouldn't do it, I'd fucking kill you, all right?